Hi guys, this is a reading for Cancer for the month of October. This reading's been really intense because all of the cards are pointing to the same thing. It's really interesting. There's this duality going on between lightness and darkness, the day and the night, the dark night of the soul, versus the sun, our life force. And you're being asked to choose between one or the other. You need to decide which one you would rather. You're seeking a kind of balance. That's the main energy for this reading. This is where you want to be at. Notice how she's standing at the edge of the water, her element. The element for the sign of Cancer is water. She has her eyes closed. She's so happy and content. This is where you want to be. Everything in this card is balanced. But she hasn't stepped into the water yet. The sun is behind her. She's being invited to go into the water. She's being invited to indulge in the best part of herself, as opposed to any kind of excess that she might want to indulge in. The excess that you have is frightening to you. The need for excess, the need to disrupt things, to make yourselves unstable, uncomfortable. A kind of self-destruction of sorts. And I think the reality of that self-destruction is scary to you. But you know that balance and light is the way forward. You know that, you've learned that lesson, you're completely aware of that. But in order to reach that outcome, you need to show a huge amount of endurance and strength. So it's a very difficult lesson to learn. That dance between the light and the dark is something that you've been experiencing a lot the last few years. You're very aware of it. You're very self-aware. But notice how this lady has half of her face in the shade and half in the sun. What you want to try and do is have your whole face in the sun. That's what you're going towards in these readings. That's what you want the outcome to be. You want this door to open up and for the sun to shine through. Notice how this man has arrived. He's looking back at his family. He's left his conditioning behind him. He's got a book in his hand. And even the dog, even the animal kingdom, is kind of amazed by him. The dog is in awe of this man. That could be you, if you allow it. Everyone could be in awe of you. But what this card is teaching us is that you have to leave your family behind. You have to walk away from the conditioning that you've received. And you have to walk into your own light, not the light that your family thinks you should be in, not the kind of light that they see for you, the kind of light that you want and that feels right for you. Because we all have a unique understanding of what that light should be, or what that light feels like or looks like, or how intense it is. So that's what we have to try and work out for ourselves. How bright can the sun be when it's shining in my eyes? How much of it can I take? I think you can take a huge amount of it. Now here the sunflower is obviously a symbol for that light and for that sun. And you, Cancer, the water in this image, the empowered female who's come out of the water, who's evaporated out of it. She has manifested herself out of her own element, out of herself, out of her shell, to become an empowered being who is not scared of the sun. It's the literal opposite energy of this card. The receptacles in this card have allowed you to come to fruition. The water has allowed you to come into yourself. In this card, the water is ruining your life. You're trying to get rid of it. You can't stand yourself. But you've broken those receptacles in order for the water to evaporate, thanks to the sun. And when it evaporates, thanks to the sun, it turns into this beautiful, empowered woman. The first card out in the reading is this lady. She's looking into the sun, towards the sun at the horizon, but we can't see the sun in this picture. We can see glimpses of it. It's suggested that there is sunshine in this picture, but it's not as bright as it is in other places. And this is where you're at now, where you have been in the past. You are an enlightened being. There is light obviously there already, but it could be a lot brighter than it is. Overall energy of this reading, again, is this idea of shadow and light. I mean, it's crazy. Literally every single card in this reading is pointing to this. You looking at your darker self and the darker self looking at the brighter self. Now, which one of these are you going to choose? It's totally up to you. Only you can make that choice. No one else can do it for you. But you have to have the confidence and the self-awareness to bring it into being. You need to walk into the light and let your whole face be covered in light, not just half of it, the whole thing. Your entire being needs to become enlightened. And it's that sunlight which will make your tree grow out of the ground towards the sky. Now, Cancer is one of the most intuitive signs. Water is deep and complicated and very powerful. If we think about the rain, or the ocean, or a river, or a lake, they all have different energies. They all point to different kind of experiences in our lives. Right now, you're on the ocean. The ocean can be very dangerous. But your boat is beautiful and safe, and you're going towards the horizon into the light. So you are on the right path. You're on that journey, aren't you? You're on it. But you're still being asked to choose. How fast is this boat going to go towards the horizon and towards the sunshine? How long is it going to take before it reaches that sunshine? Are you going to get there before the whole thing just disappears and you're into the darkness again? Are you going to live in the night or in the day? In the day. Because living in the night suggests drugs, alcohol, partying, sex, things that are not serving you. Things that maybe served you in your youth, maybe in your, late teens, 20s. This for me is in the energy of someone who's in their 30s, 40s, and who's having to really look at themselves and ask some questions and learn some lessons. But it's going to take a huge amount of strength. If and when you allow the light to come in, the universe will be yours. In this card, the universe is symbolized by someone who is basically the sun again, right? So she is the sun, she's the moon, she's the stars, she's everything. She's all of it. She deserves all of it. But you don't get all of those things unless you really apply yourself. So how are you going to apply yourself? You need to walk away from the past. You need to walk away from things that haven't served you. You need to walk away from that energy. And you need to walk away from these people, whoever they are. They might be a group of friends who are a bad influence. They might be a sister who's very complicated and doesn't deserve your love or attention anymore. Could be a partner, could be your actual parents. Maybe your parents are holding you back and they have been for years. And you literally just need to turn your back on them now. Not necessarily forever, but for this next chapter, you need to turn your back on them. In your duality card, you have love and hate. Again, night and day. Which battle will you choose? Which energy will you go towards? The shadow or the light? Which one would you rather? What I think all this is pointing towards is towards rest. It means getting up early, going to bed early, enjoying the day, enjoying the light, seeking out the light. On a day when it's not very sunny, if the sun comes out for even 10 minutes, go outside, get that light in you, make it enter your pores, make it help you shine from within. That's what these cards are asking you to do. You need to make the most of that element of the sun. It's so important to you. It's the fire that you need as a Cancerian. There is so much water pouring through you. You need something to counterbalance that. And that counterbalancing energy comes from the sun, it comes from the light, from within, through meditation, and from the actual sun, which is, helping us grow every day. The trees and the human race and the animal kingdom, all of it. All of it is reliant on the sun. So come out of your darkness. You don't want to be in the dark anymore. You don't need to be in the dark anymore. It's not serving you. Darkness sometimes can be good. A lot of creative energy comes from darkness. It comes from tension, from pain. All of those things can serve us. Those experiences are valid. They happened. They're important. They're who we are. But they're not all of who we are. They're just a little fraction of it. There are a few chapters out of the book that is long. I think there's a lot of meditation that's needed, a lot of rest, a lot of closing one's eyes. When you're not outside taking that sun in, you need to be inside with your eyes closed, just really reconnecting with yourself. Getting lots of rest, switching off, switch your phone off. Don't pick, when the phone rings, maybe don't even answer it. Especially if it's someone who's not serving you anymore. Just don't pick up the phone. They'll soon get the message that you don't really want them in your life anymore. Or at least you don't want them in your life right now. Every single time you pick up the phone and you have an awkward conversation with someone, you're bringing energy into your life and into your being and into your heart, which can then take days to get rid of, or even, maybe someone says something that's completely ridiculous just to get on your nerves, and it can scar you, It can stay with you for days, for weeks, for months, sometimes forever. People say things that can really scar us. Don't let them do that. There's someone in your life who's doing this. I can feel it in the cards. There's someone who's dark side, who has a lot of dark energy and who's saying the wrong thing on purpose. It's malicious energy. And it's the opposite of this lady, who you are capable of being. So who is this person? Even in these cards where the cups are completely empty, there's two still at the top which have not been touched. So there's still time and space for salvation. It's not too late. It's never too late anyway, but there's always an opportunity for a rebirth. But I think this is what these cards are telling you to do. You literally need to be born again. Get rid of all that stuff in the past. Just rid yourself of it. And the only way you'll be able to do that is by doing some meditation. And by literally staring into the sun. The winter's a very difficult time for most of us. And that sunlight is crucial. And there are some days when it doesn't come out at all in the winter, and it's very difficult. So if it doesn't come out at all, where do you find it? You find it inside yourself. Sometimes that sunshine can only be found inside yourself, and I think that's exactly what these cards are asking you to do. This is devil energy, someone who's not looking into the lens, someone who's looking away. Sometimes I see this card as a card of revelation, of someone taking their mask off and actually looking into the sun. There's quite a lot of light in this card again, but in this instance, I really see this card as someone who's hiding something, someone who's ashamed of something. There's something that you're doing in your habits that needs to be cut out. Are you doing things that are depleting your energy? Are you doing things that you're ashamed of, that you can't stop doing? If so, take that mask off, look at yourself, don't look to other people or look away from the camera, look into the camera and ask yourself the questions. It's very difficult to do, I'm not saying it's easy by any stretch. It's a very difficult thing to do and all of us need to do it. It's not just Cancer. I think this is just your energy right now. You need to choose the right option, you need to choose the light. You need to move forwards into your future. Your future is very bright, look at that sunshine. It's literally inviting you. It's inviting you to this new phase, which is really exciting. There's only good things that can happen the other side of this horizon line. And you're in control of your destiny, so only you can do that. But choose love, choose the light. It's so much easier. What happens if we choose the darkness? This happens. Death. Anxiety. Unhappiness. Let's replace that black bird by these beautiful creatures that surround this very, very calm, happy woman, balanced woman. Of course, we are in Libra season, right? So this is the Libra card. The card of balance. Now, there's this kind of misunderstanding, I think, around the Libras, that they're very balanced. They're not balanced. They're always unbalanced. They're always looking to be balanced. It's this constant dance of like trying to find the right place in order to feel safe and straight and supported. And it's exhausting. And that's kind of what you're doing at the moment. It's like this kind of night and day, light and dark energy that is quite unsettling. But you need to just choose one. The second you choose one, then the balance will come. So which one will you choose? Only you can decide that. This is the end result. Beautiful. That's all from me, Cancer. See you again soon.